Oh my gosh, so friendship. So it is good to see my friends, give them a hug. We can all go back to our homes now and see each other on the screen. Yeah, zoom. Standing on the counter in his underpants. I'm going to consider this a win.
Super professional. But that is one of the beauties of technology. There's always a fire drill. There's always a dumpster fire. Oh, I just got to get this one thing out. I just got to get this one thing out. I've learned to stop myself.
Yes.
Why? Because we're flying somewhere fun, honey?
No,
absolutely not.
No.
Do you go by any aliases?
Stop skibbity toilet. I got the Riz.
Brah. What do you mean, bro? Soccer's the best when there's good weather.
Yeah.
Did you say cult or club? It just felt like they were too manly. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. What became known as the Mahjong moms. So it was really legit, but she gave me an asterisk on it. I mean, I can be Shauna.
Yeah. Shauna the Mahjong mama?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Shauna the Mahjong mama.
Fail.
Third time's not a charm.
Not a charm. It's hard.
Yeah, I can only go so far.
You can't be a woo girl? I've never been a woo girl.
Wow, the pool sure looks great. It's so green.
It's greener than our grass.
Oh,
That's a medical term.
yeah.
You act up. PT was asking when they're going to get to see Mr. Meghan.
It was a split household to some degree.
These decisions are emotional.
The gods smile on you.
Yes. It's like, oh.
Yeah, those conversations don't come easy.
Yeah, and the day that it's not is the day that I shouldn't be leading people. That's when I get in the whole lace your boots up.
That is realistic. You're positive. So we're real positive. 1, 2, 3.
You're kidding.
Get out of here.
We really do finish each other's.
Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Inglis Podcast. I'm Megan.
And I'm Shaen. We're here to talk about the wild ride of raising kids, growing careers, and keeping life together in the middle of all the chaos.
So buckle up, because we're all in this crazy journey together.
Beep, beep. You're like Roadrunner tonight.
Yeah, changed it up a little bit there.
Does it give you the same effect?
Probably.
Oh, that's good.
I think so.
Yeah. You can
would
just
be.
be Roadrunner instead of a 1950s doo-wop person. I love it.
Yeah, that's right. To get my mic ready.
It's very low.
No, I always have to get my mic ready after I do that.
Yeah.
Because it sets at a different height for the other podcast.
For sure. Yeah.
So,
Some technical difficulties, people. It's all good.
That's all right. You would think we'd have, maybe the production crew can just cut this out.
You would think so.
Somebody should be able to edit, the editor.
Yeah, the editor
Somebody.
can get rid of that. It's easy.
Somebody.
Oh my gosh, so for folks watching on YouTube, that was perfect. You're struggling to lift it up and it just went wah, wah.
Thought it was done. This is top of the line stuff here.
I know. Well, it is late. We are recording this late. It's getting to be late at night. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
So I will give you grace. I don't know if the listeners will give you grace, but I will.
Well, this is the first time we've really seen each other since this morning.
I know. It's good to see you.
Almost 10 o'clock at night.
I know.
This is a long one.
It's a long one.
Yeah.
I mean, this is it's what the podcast is about. It's juggling careers and family and
That's right. That's right.
It's days like this when I had to be in the office. I have to be in the office for the next few days for all day things. Oh, I don't know how people do it when they work from an office 100% of the time. I mean, because then you have to do all the home and family stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of it, but then come back and it's still well, I need to help, and I, feel like I'm jumping in halfway, and, it's just...
Well, I mean, you've done it for 2 decades, where I usually was the one traveling all the time, and my travel schedule has definitely eased in the last year, which has been fantastic.
It has.
And it's always harder when mom's gone. Dads are easier to leave the house, I think. I don't know.
Well, part of it, I think, is just the segregation of duties that we have. Most of mine are the keep the house running kind of things, like the cooking, the lunches, the laundry, whereas yours are the things that we need. It's the things that push us forward. Mine just kind of keeps us status quo. You all your chores kind of push us forward.
Yeah, it does. I was going to ask you how it was being in the office today. I mean, it's been so long since we've been in offices. I mean, seeing people. I mean, are people getting used to just seeing each other 4 times a year?
Yeah, I think so.
At least at your company, you guys are fully remote since COVID.
Yep. It's nice to see people. I mean, because I've been with the company so long, I have a lot of friendships, so it is good to see my friends, give them a hug. It's great. But for the most part, it's like, okay, after a couple days, it's like, okay, we can all go back to our homes now and see each other on the screen.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm hybrid for the most part, but basically remote. I always had an office kind of somewhere in a city, but I was never there.
Well,
ever.
And you travel so much.
Because we travel and I can do my job from the house, my home office here. But I've found, because we never utilized it before COVID, or rarely did we utilize video conferencing.
Yeah.
Whether it's Skype or Teams or what's the other one? Zoom, yeah. Zoom, probably one of the main ones.
Yeah, Zoom.
We never used those before, but ever since, I mean, it's made it so much easier.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly don't feel like I'm not at the office with those people, because at least the way I used it on my team, and maybe this was the wrong way to use it, but I mean, it was water cooler sometime. I didn't use it formally every single time.
No, I didn't either. And I think I made it a point, and in my teams and everyone that I work with, I guess our department or whatever, we made it a standard thing to always be on camera. And that allowed us to keep that kind of human interaction. I think teams where they're like, hey, I'm not even going to turn on my camera.
Yeah.
I think they lost a lot of that, maybe. But the other thing is, it does present challenges, though, at home, because I've said it before, like, my job is primarily meetings, but I'm on camera that whole time.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot that you can hide. Like, during COVID, and we all have these stories, I will never forget the view into, like, behind me was into our kitchen based on where I was sitting. Do you know the story?
I think so, but we were at a different house at that point because we were building this house.
Yeah. And I had told, this was truly 2020 in the midst of COVID. And I had told our oldest, who is 4th or 5th grade at the time, I was like, hey, can you empty the dishwasher? I get on a call with my team, and everybody is just dying laughing. Sure enough, our oldest is standing on the counter in his underpants, putting away the dishes. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to consider this a win.
It's classic.
Like, he is doing what I asked him. I didn't tell him to put on his clothes before doing it. Like, I asked him to empty the dishwasher. He did it.
That's so funny. I mean, I wish you always see those videos of those. Somebody should have videoed that,
Oh, yeah.
That call and sent it to you.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That would have been funny to see.
Oh, it gets around. They still talk about it. They're like, remember that time? I'm like, oh. And I mean, there were so many from that time because the kids were always there.
Yeah, like I've had employees that have younger kids, and they'd always be jumping on. And, on my desk, I've got some, little Lego like figurines and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so I'd always put the Lego guys up to the camera and show them. Little kids love that kind of stuff.
I know. They do.
Guess.
I mean.
So says the old guy.
Yeah.
Daddy's boss.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Super professional.
I don't know. It's a different world now. I think COVID allowed work and family to blend together a little bit better. It works for us, or it definitely works for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it did. But I also saw at one of the companies that I was at where people do take advantage of it. And I'm sad to say that honestly.
Sad. Yeah.
Because most of us are professionals. Mm-hmm. But I think if there's a certain culture potentially that, it's kind of set that way within the culture that I feel like people took advantage of it to some degree. Not the video conferencing, but the working from home expectations of just how flexible their schedule was. You know, I mean, the 9-hour workday, you know, kind of turned into a 4-hour work days because it just felt that flexible.
Yeah.
This wasn't on my team.
Yeah.
This was a more of a junior type team. You know, most of our teams are senior people.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around for a long time. So we didn't see that there, but yeah, that always frustrated me a little bit. I know some of the senior guys who, you know, because a lot of us, and even people that I work with still now report up through me, you know, they're the old school. They got in at 6 o'clock in the morning. They didn't leave till 7 o'clock at night. I mean, you cut your teeth.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in the office.
Yep.
I mean, you got there before the boss. You left after the boss.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to, you know, so
Yeah.
those guys have kind of struggled, you know,
Right.
getting through this. But I think even them now understand, like, hey, the video thing's not that bad. And,
Yeah.
you know, maybe just put a collared shirt on. Or
Right. Right.
for the day-to-day. I mean, obviously, if we're talking to clients, you know, you look
It's a little
better.
different. Yeah. Yeah. Like every now and again, you're like, oh, gosh, you know what? I don't have too many like meetings with important people or whatever. I'm just
Yeah.
going to dress down.
But that's different than being in person with people, so.
It is. Yeah. Like you do look nicer and it's exhausting. I find myself like a little, well, not a little, a lot more tired at night.
Well, you're in meetings. Well, I don't know. Maybe in the office you would have been going from conference room to conference room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
That would be tiring.
you know, you're
Just
just like,
carrying your laptop and your coffee everywhere you went.
Yep. You always have it, and you know, and then kick people out of conference rooms, you know, because you're like waiting and they're late.
Well, I mean, that's the one beauty. We complain a lot about technology, right? But that is one of the beauties of technology is that if you use it correctly and you're, you know, professional enough about it, that work flexibility. I mean, literally before we came in here, we were both on the computer.
Yeah.
I was laughing with you because it's always day 4. You know,
Always the
Megan being in the accounting finance side of her job, you know, they have to close the books, and the books are always closing on like days 3, 4, and 5 are so hard, or day 4 is the worst, you know, all the
day
time.
758. Yes, yeah.
But it's just always like every day is day 4. There's always a fire drill. There's always a dumpster fire. And then the newest one tonight, again, it just hit me because you're doing it all the time now. You're like, oh, I just got to get this one thing out. I just got to get this one thing out. There's always one thing. I mean, I know everybody always has one thing, but
I know.
it's your go-to right now, which is kind of funny.
I know. Oh, it really was just one thing. Like, I just needed to get this one thing. That was
And then
the only
after
thing.
that one thing, there's another one thing.
Yeah. The one thing
You know, it wasn't even planned.
that really wasn't planned. Something that this is good and bad, but working from home and when you are on video, you can multitask a lot easier. So if somebody needs something and you're in a more flexible meeting, like you can send it off real quick, you know, and no one will even miss the fact that you maybe spaced out for a minute or two while you
Yeah.
sent it, or you were just actively listening while you sent something out.
Yeah.
But being in like what you know, it's kind of like a conference that I'm in, you know, I don't have access, just easy access. So you're like, oh, I do have to send that out tonight.
Yeah, that's right. You don't get as much kind of double time a little bit there.
Yeah.
I was never good at that double time when I do it. So I just can't because I'll start focusing on that, even though I'm really good at having multiple things.
You're a great multitasker. I'm terrible at it.
But when it comes to being on video and trying to do something else, I can't listen to the person on video and then concentrate on something I'm doing. So maybe it's just a higher level function thinking that I can't multitask, but
Yeah.
I've learned to stop myself. I have to be engaged, and that's it.
That's one reason why I always use the video too, is it does keep me engaged. But because, you know, if I've turned my computer off, I'm just listening while doing something else.
Yeah.
So, oh well. Enough work talk. That's no fun.
I know. It's not fun.
It's just been a busy day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, literally just got
Every day. We're getting up early in the morning too, before school to take the kids. Again, it's the chaos train, and this is what everybody does, I know, but just so everybody knows, like, this is just the little things that families like you and us
right.
fit in.
Yes.
So we're flying out of the house earlier than we would normally get on a bus or go to school because we're going to the airport tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Why? Because we're flying somewhere fun, honey?
No.
No, absolutely not.
No. Our kids.
We're going there to get our global entry interviews for the children.
Yes.
Because you and I have our global entries.
Yeah, we're good.
Since we're going out of the country this summer. But they make it very clear you are not allowed to bring your children through global entry if they don't have their own
Global entry.
cards, right? So,
Yes. Someone at Customs was very clear about that in one of the trips that we took recently. We're like, okay,
yeah.
got it.
Sorry. I don't think that was recent. They were small when we did
We
that.
were little, yeah.
I don't remember
Anyway.
where we were, but anyway, yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll drop everybody off at school and have a regular, full, normal day again.
Right.
But nothing like getting going fast.
Nothing like getting going fast. I'm sure it's, I don't know. Hopefully it's real quick. I mean, what are they going to ask them? Like, you're going to ask an 11-year-old, like, have you ever smuggled anything into the country? I mean, like,
Yeah.
they'll be like, what does smuggle mean?
Do you go by any aliases? Brah. What do you mean, bro? Stop skibbly, like the way they talk right now.
Stop skibbity toilet. I got the Riz. Like,
That's right.
I don't know what any of that means. I hope I didn't offend
The
anyone.
skis. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to remind our children to speak properly tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Uh-huh. I do wonder, like, what are you going to ask them?
Yeah,
Like-
well, we'll find out.
Yeah. What other names have you gone by?
3 minors.
You know, they
Yeah.
might not even know how to spell their middle names.
Yeah. Have you been married before?
I'm 11.
What country are we in here?
Right.
So that'll be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Not really fun, but I guess I'm just summing that up.
We'll get it in there. There's been a couple things that we've had to squeeze in. You know, had to take the daughter to urgent care on top of you coming back from, how was this weekend in Austin?
Yeah, I was going to get to that one. It was great. You know, it was good weather. Soccer's the best when there's good weather.
Yes.
And you're sitting on the sideline, not freezing, not sweating to death, because it's usually 10 months of the year in Texas. Soccer is either way too cold. It
Yes.
gets super cold here.
It does.
Like I wear way too many layers, enough that I could go skiing in it easily.
Yeah.
Maybe more than when I go skiing.
There are times when you need to use 2 hands to count the layers that you have.
Yeah, so it gets really cold, or it's
I
too
don't know
hot.
how you move. Like,
I mean, they've played in what's the lowest temperature we've played in?
like actual or wind chill? Because I
With
mean,
wind chill down here.
oh, it's easily gotten in the single, if not negatives. I mean,
We've been right near zero. I
we've
know
been right
that.
near zero with wind
So
chill.
that's cold, and that was 17 like actual or something like that. And we played. They don't ever stop.
No.
Now I get that. People in Minnesota might think that's not a big deal. But I don't think soccer season's year-round there. Soccer season here for our club soccer is year-round.
Year round.
So there's no time off, other than maybe they might give us July off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And usually it's 2 or 3 weeks in July.
Yeah. If your kid's committed to a club, then you get July off.
Yeah. Did you say cult or club? I think you know where I'm going with that.
Yeah. I mean, they're not that far off from
It's
like
insane.
a
Yeah.
word.
Or we'll play in 112.
Uh-huh.
I think is the hottest we've ever played in.
Yeah.
It was 112.
Yeah.
And they played.
They
The
played.
kids played. Thank God they gave them a break, a water break.
They actually, no, they didn't just get 1 water break per half. They got 2.
Oh, they got 2 whole
Water
water
breaks.
breaks and a half. So every 10 minutes they got to come off,
Mm-hmm. And
get some water.
get
so,
some water.
so no kids died of
Yeah.
over
do you
heat
remember?
stroke.
Do you remember the one ref that we had that got heat stroke and started puking at halftime one time?
Yeah, I remember when our oldest son got
I
heat stroke and
remember.
puked after the game.
Yeah. That actually was the same game that the ref got it, right?
Oh, was it really?
I think it was.
I may have blocked that out.
Oh gosh, it was awful.
That wasn't even the hottest game we've had. So,
Not even close.
anyways, it was a beautiful weekend down in Austin. That was nice. You know, our oldest had fun. He's getting at the age where, you know, he's just getting some good friends, hanging out with them, hopefully staying out of trouble. But I mean, they have to go everywhere with a parent anyway.
Right.
So I think it was good. The one highlight for me that I told you about was,
I love this. I hope you're going there.
well, yeah, well, it's not that big of a deal, but some of the moms on the team, one mom on the team had a travel Mahjong set, right? And so she was getting ready to set it up. She's like, she's telling two other moms that, oh, we're going to learn to play Mahjong. She was going to teach them.
Yeah.
And I was always like, I love Mahjong because I played on the computer, which is computer Mahjong is not actual game Mahjong, which probably everybody knows that. So I'm just verifying that everybody knows that. But I was like, I don't know how to play it. I'd love to learn how to play it in my mind at first, right?
Yeah.
Because she was like, oh, we need a fourth. Does anybody want to play it? And I didn't really know these moms that much because this is a team that's, the parents are a little stick to themselves-ish.
Yeah,
like, there's kind of
not
groups.
a whole lot of,
Right? Not everybody knows each
team
other.
Doesn't mingle.
Right. It's not a mingling sideline.
Yeah, it's not.
So I had talked to two of the moms before.
Yeah.
One we kind of know fairly well.
Yeah.
She's
I'd say
talked.
we know her the best on the team.
The best, yeah. One, her son's come over to the house before. And the other one, I don't think I've ever met before.
Yeah.
Other than just maybe saying hi or a nod here
Right,
or there.
yeah.
She was the one that was teaching. Anyways, they needed a fourth, and there was no other moms there. And it was the NFL draft this weekend, so all the dads are sitting down in the bar in this hotel. It's really nice, a nice Hyatt place.
Oh, wow. It was fancy.
Top notch.
It was highbrow.
Fancy. There was literally an Applebee's across the street. But
Fancy,
like Applebee's.
Applebee's on a date night.
That's right.
Yeah.
So anyways, long story short, she was like, because they know some of the other dads, and the other dads were like, no, we're not watching that. No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to watch the game. We're going to watch the, It just felt like they were like too manly to sit with the girls and play Mahjong. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. Which is, I mean, it's not like classic me by any means, no, but I've always got along better with women or girls than I do with
Females,
men.
yeah.
With
Yeah.
females, yeah. Yeah, thank you. That's a much better way to say it. With females better than males.
Right.
For whatever reason. I'm just not a testosterone manly man. And it's hard for me to connect with testosterone manly men, and a lot of men are testosterone manly men.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
You are manly. You're just not the over the top, have to prove it. You're
I
like,
know.
I'm okay. Like, if I would rather play Mahjong, I'm going to go play Mahjong.
Mahjong looks like fun.
Yeah.
So anyways, I sat there with what became known as the Mahjong moms. And I was one of them. And there's one part of Mahjong where if you put down, there's this one tile that has a picture of a bird on it. I don't remember the name of it. She taught us the name of it. I don't remember it now. I was trying to remember it.
I know the picture of the bird that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't know it had a name.
When you put those down, those are ones that you go woohoo, and you cheers and you take a drink.
I had no idea.
And I can't woohoo that high, so I didn't do that definitely. But I did cheers. I went yay, but it was just fun hanging out with those three ladies. They were fun. They were funny.
Yeah.
They were giving each other hard times and stuff. I won the first game, by the way. But the teacher, if she ever hears this, I will say she gave me an asterisk on it. Because you're not supposed to have more than, I don't remember, I think 12 tiles.
Okay.
And for some reason, I had accumulated 16.
That's a lot.
But they're all on the side. So I had to put those down. I think I just forgot to discard the ones when
Okay.
I picked up the new ones. So it was really legit, but she gave me an asterisk on it.
Oh.
Yeah, but I won the first one. So anyways, it was fun. Mahjong moms. And funny, tomorrow, or maybe it's Thursday, is International Mahjong Day.
You're kidding.
No, so I did send a shout out to the Mahjong moms.
You have to.
Yeah, because I'm one of them.
Yeah.
So they were calling me. I mean, they didn't call me. I threw it out there for them. I'm like, that's all right. I'm fine being a Mahjong mom. I mean, I can be Shauna. That's fine.
You're
Yeah.
Shauna the Mahjong Mama.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Shauna the Mahjong mama.
Uh-huh.
That's fun to say.
It really is. Ooh, tongue twister though. Shauna the Mahjong Mom. Ooh, fail.
Third time's not a charm.
Not a charm. It's hard.
So that was fun. Our oldest played well. It's neat because we're just getting at that age where there literally are scouts walking around. Like you can see them. They've got clipboards. They don't blend in all that well.
Really?
Because these are the top, the higher tiers of soccer clubs. So a lot of these kids are being scouted for semi-professional teams and college teams.
Right.
So it's cool. It's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know if the kids get if they feel pressure from it or not, but I didn't get the sense that they felt pressure from it. They still wanted to win, and we probably gave away 2 games that we shouldn't have, and it's really good competition. And we play people from all around the country, so
Right.
Nashville, California, and I think South Texas
Okay.
is where we played.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was a lot of fun. And now that I know that you're I can't call you a woo girl, but yeah, knowing that you were woo,
Yeah, I can only go so far.
you can't be a woo girl.
I will never be a woo girl. No, I'll be a Mahjong mom, but I won't be a woo girl, ever. Will you?
I've never been a woo girl.
No.
Never been a woo girl.
I wonder if our daughter will be a woo girl.
I hope not.
We've already labeled it. She knows what woo girls are.
She does.
And we kind of make fun of them, kind of.
Yeah.
No offense to any woo girls
Yeah,
watching,
you
but
could be the woo girl. Yeah.
it's a personality thing.
I was never one.
Yeah.
Although, do you remember when she was little and she like was we were in a limousine and she was like standing up and wanted
Yes.
to like get out of the sunroof?
Yeah.
She was like 3.
Well, at 4, we were at that concert north of Chicago.
Yes.
And she was standing on the bleachers,
Bleachers.
dancing,
dancing.
and I think probably wooing.
She was probably wooing.
So maybe they grow out of it. Maybe it's something people don't ever grow out of.
It's innate, maybe.
Or it's just a growth stage that you should grow out of.
Yeah.
some point.
And you peak in your toddler years, like in the case of our daughter, maybe?
You could peak it in certain years, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you peak early, that's okay. Better than peaking late than that,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. She's always been someone with just a zest for life.
She has. Poor thing's been sick, though, so hopefully she starts feeling better.
I know. I feel so bad.
Allergies have been so bad. Our pool is green. It's been green for like 2 weeks now.
It's greener than our grass.
Oh, yeah. I said that the other day. I was like, wow, the pool sure looks great. It's so green.
It looks like a pond.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like a pond.
And I'm pretty sure there's probably more chlorine in it than actual H2O at this point, but
That's insane.
there's been so much pollen. And then we had those dust storms that came through a month and a half ago, maybe now, that it's just been. I know our pool guy's pulling his hair out.
I know. Poor guy. He's like
Yeah.
the nicest guy, too.
Super nice guy, yeah.
Like,
But our pool is ugly.
it is. It really is. And it takes a lot of work for you.
Yeah. It's that time of year, and I told you too, it's spring, and it's just all that work to do with, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, to the house, getting it ready.
Yeah.
And I told you the other day, and I am feeling it more and more, I think I've just hit the age where I don't enjoy doing yard work anymore.
I didn't know if you'd ever hit that age.
I never minded
You
it,
never minded it.
because it was, it's just something,
You know?
it was kind of just, not enjoyable, that's the wrong word for it, but it was kind of an escape. It was easy. It was a quick check the box.
Yeah, you could take pride in the fact, like, hey, I'm making this look nice, and you're being productive. You're outside.
Yeah,
There's
but
a lot of like those.
digging that
tangible
sump
things.
pump and digging things out now and moving rock, stuff like that. Some of that more landscaping, heavy lifting stuff.
Oh yeah,
Not that I'm incapable of doing it physically.
right.
I think mentally I am now. though.
Like I can't do.
I
this
don't want to
anymore.
do it anymore. So,
Oh my gosh. Well, and your knee is hurt too.
yeah, did we talk about that last
You
time?
didn't.
So the funny update there was just, as everybody may or may not recall, we were trying to be careful on the ski trip that Megan blew her knee out, everything on it. We were really nervous about that because my knee had been hurting.
Yeah.
And my knee has never hurt. Figured something was wrong with it. The doctor never took an MRI, but thought there was probably a slight tear in it. So I wanted to be really careful that I didn't blow my knee out,
Yeah.
which I didn't, thank God.
Yeah, you didn't.
But since we've maxed out our medical this year, I figured I'd go get MRIs and everything because my 2 shoulders and my knee. Long story short, my knee, in my meniscus, I've got a lateral tear.
Yeah.
And for lateral tears, they can't do anything about it because there's nothing to like sew it to and whatnot. So it's fine. Many people have it. It's not like I'm incapable of doing it. It doesn't limit me, I don't think, other than the pain and the swelling it feels.
Yeah.
So it does. I do have limited mobility in it now, more so. So I mean, these are the things getting old, people. Again, this is the chaos train, just throw the things into it. But I got MRIs on my shoulders also because I can't sleep normal in those.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about getting old, everybody. Like I can't. Now I got to put, instead of my arm under my head when I'm sleeping on the pillow, my arm has to go like behind me or just totally on my back.
You do have some pretty odd sleeping.
It's the only way my shoulders will allow me to go because I have 2 torn ligaments in both my shoulders also. But none that require surgery though. None of them require surgery. It's just annoyances.
That's crazy.
And limiting and maybe some PT.
Yeah.
To go along to get my mobility back, I think, and get the pain because I mean I can't even like touch my back with this arm because it's so stiff. But it's been like that for 5 years now.
Yeah, your shoulders have been jacked up for a long time.
Yeah.
That's the medical term.
Yeah.
Jacked up.
Well, yep.
Yeah. By the way, PT was asking when they're gonna get to see Mr. Meghan.
Am I on their list?
No, I don't think yet. They're like, we haven't seen it come through yet.
Oh. Well, I appeal so much to the moms and the ladies. They probably heard about my Mahjong skills and want me to come in. I was only there one time.
I know.
Lasting impression.
Lasting impression. And they're all like, where's Mr. Meghan? I'm like, oh my goodness.
Your chauffeur no longer needs to chauffeur you.
Right. Yeah, so I can
You're
chauffeur
an independent
myself.
woman.
Yeah. And yeah, they're like, oh my gosh, we can't wait to have both of you here.
That's funny.
It is funny because I guess no. I was going to say it's mostly women, but I was like, actually, no, it's about 50-50 when I go in. Like, there's definitely some male patients.
I won't be there long. I need to get the exercises and I can incorporate them when I do my workouts.
Yeah. Well, they would love to have you.
Yeah. Well, what else do we want to talk about here? I mean, this has been a lot of chit chat.
It has. This is because we haven't seen each other all day. It's like, oh, catch up.
Or a lot of the week either, because I was gone for 3.5 days in Austin. Well, you were here with the other 2.
And I was here with the other 2. And that was just, I was expecting there to be a lot more downtime this weekend, and there was none.
Yeah.
None.
I know one of the things you did, you went to, we've been talking about the soccer thing. We finally made our decision.
Yep.
And I can say in our household that it was a split household to some degree because we could really make a decision which team we went to for our youngest.
Yeah.
We really could have made an appeal either way, right? An
Yep.
argument for either coach, either team. It was really hard. It was just
really
super hard decision to make. We tried to make it last week. We hung on to it a little bit longer. You went and saw everybody for the team that we ended up not going to, which is kind of the heart of the old team and the old coach.
Yep. And it was, I didn't know what way we were going to go
at that time, right?
At that moment, but it's like, oh, these are our friends, and this is a coach that's had a big impact on our kid's life, and it's just these decisions are emotional, but our youngest, we ultimately left it up to him, and he was very, I thought for an 11-year-old, very mature to make the decision he did, and why, because he could tell me exactly why.
Yeah, I was going to say, I appreciated the fact that he was thoughtful about his reasoning.
Yep. He articulated to me multiple times, this is why, I know I'm going to miss this. He completely understood, what I'm giving up and what that was.
And I think a big part of it was the fact that he had already mentally known he was moving from that coach to the other coach.
Oh, that was huge, yeah.
Because that's the way it was supposed to happen anyways.
Yeah.
It's just the club screwed the whole thing up. It made it hard. It made everybody make this decision. And that's part of why we were so upset about it. But so that's nice to have that done. I still feel, I had to tell some of the other parents, and it's not like, these kids are 11 years old. So,
well, and it's a small circle. There is a huge chance that we'll play on teams with these people again, and we definitely will see them, and we can stay in touch and all of that. So that does make me feel good knowing that I think we did right by everybody. At least I hope we did right by everybody. I know you had to have all the tough conversations.
Yeah. It's funny. That's one of the things I was going to talk about here. We don't have time today. We can talk about it on a different one. But just having those tough conversations, because I used to say that I'm good at having those tough conversations.
You are.
But they're just so uncomfortable.
See, but from what I see on the outside, you navigate those tough conversations very well. You don't seem like you're uncomfortable. You do a great job of being candid yet empathetic, and so you handle them so well. So whether you feel like it's uncomfortable, it's not from the outsider's perspective.
They are uncomfortable. I think I misspoke. And the most uncomfortable part of the process is the lead up to it, the just not wanting to do it, the feeling like you're letting somebody down. Because like in the instance of this coach that we didn't go with, I really like him.
Oh, yes. Yes. As a coach, as a person.
All the above.
All the above. Yep.
This wasn't a case of he couldn't have still taught our kids something. It's not a case that we thought someone was better than the other. It was just a myriad of other factors that kind of came into it. And one of the biggest one was when the gods smile on you. We drive an hour every night of the week, Monday through Thursday, to go to their soccer practice at a high school across town, an hour across town. By the way, it's at 6:15 or 6:30, and then the next one's at 7:15 or 7:30. So we have to leave the house at like 4:50 or 5 o'clock to make sure we're there by 6:30.
Right.
So it's a commitment to get there, and the gods have smiled on us because all three kids are there.
Yes.
That was probably, for me, one of the biggest factors in it.
Yeah.
Because our middle daughter, who's not playing club soccer, but her club track just happens to be at the same high school.
Yes. It's like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. I would do that, but that's kind of a woo girl thing, so I'm going to let you do that.
Yeah.
It's a girl thing. I hit that note pretty well, actually.
You did. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So we can talk about, making hard decisions. Like, we've had to have discussions at work, putting people on PIPs or giving annual reviews or mid-year reviews and giving tough feedback. Those conversations don't come easy, and I do find it hard sometimes to, as much as you want to pull that Band-Aid off, sometimes you only pull it halfway. It's like, I should have just done it. Now I got to go back and do it again.
Yes. So hard.
Yeah.
So hard. And it just, I don't know. I struggle with that.
It's because we have some empathy. I've had managers that don't have people skills.
Yeah.
And there's
like,
no empathy.
wow,
They just, they're robotic about things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I never would want to be that kind of a manager.
No, I actually told someone.
And I know you're not either.
Yeah, I told someone that I work with. She, we're going through a tough employee situation or whatever, and she was like, I can tell this is really hard on you, and I was like, well, yeah, and the day that it's not is the day that I shouldn't be leading people like that. Like if this is ever easy, that's the wrong spot to be in.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's when I get in the whole lace your boots up, because I think they're hard. I think those conversations, as hard as they are for you, I think I struggle with them even more. I like to be all Pollyanna a lot. And so getting real and having that conversation is so hard. And so those are the lace up your boots.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely the balance in our house. Our kids know that very well. Dad is realistic. They know what being realistic is from day one. They've never not known that.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And you're positive.
I am.
Mm-hmm. So we're real positive in the end. It's pretty good.
We're real positive. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, what do we got coming up here?
Ooh, let's see. We have a whole bunch of end of the year things coming up, and
going into May. It's the last month of school.
It's the last month of school.
Yep.
And we have different parties and different awards things. I think 2 of our kids have awards things that we get to go to. So we get to fit that in.
We got a kid starting driver's ed.
Oh, I know. He was all about it the other night.
Yeah. He's telling me a little bit about it. He's only got an hour of a 70-hour course done, so.
seem
Don't get too excited.
pretty gung-ho.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just all the good stuff, I guess. So I think it's a busy weekend.
I think so.
I think so. I think things popped up on the calendar that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I saw some of that
Like
come up.
we have
Thinking we didn't have anything. But we'll be
practice
getting
games,
into our
powder
middle daughter's, her track season now is going to, I think, start getting going in May and June.
Yep,
Big time. So
big time.
that'll be fun. It's our first time through this process, so it feels so unplanned and unprepared and unorganized is probably the word I'm looking for.
But
Although I know the ladies that are running it aren't.
yeah, no, I think it's just because it's so new to us.
Yeah.
I think the difference is we know soccer. We know what to expect on soccer teams and things like that. We know when the schedule comes out, so we plan on that. And we don't know any of that here.
Right.
It just, so it feels that way. I mean, if I didn't know anything about soccer, I mean, for a tournament, we don't get the schedule for the tournament until like the Wednesday before the tournament.
Right.
People might think that's crazy, and it's like, but that's just what we've gotten used to. I always know, like, I know it's a tournament weekend, but I don't know what it is until about Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Then
It's all we
some,
get used to.
yeah. Well, all right. Well,
Yeah.
good. Well, I don't think I have that much coming up. I mean, it's just getting through. It's just blocking and tackling right now, kind of into the school year,
Yeah,
into the soccer season, starting of the track season. Just some blocking and tackling. It feels like.
it is. Yeah.
I know it's day 4 for you, and you just got to get one more thing out, and
Yeah,
you'll be there.
I'll be there.
You'll see the next summit.
There's false summits everywhere.
Yeah.
You never reach the summit, do you?
Mm-mm.
I feel like we're flying by the seat of our pants a whole lot.
Oh yeah. Yes, we are for sure. More than I feel like we ever have been.
Yes, and it's not a great place because you're like, I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Like,
Mm-mm.
I feel like we're making it up as we go.
Yeah.
Did our parents feel that way?
I'm sure they did. We're gonna ask them, and then
Yeah.
hopefully they can get back to us.
All right. Well, should we wrap it up?
Yes, we should wrap it up. So, what was your word last week? Do you remember it?
No.
Okay, I don't remember mine either. So we'll just pick our words for this week. Okay, so we're summarizing how this last week was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so think about your word
Uh-huh.
and let me know when you got it.
I got it.
All right, I got mine.
Okay.
All right,
I think we might diverge quite a bit here.
we might. I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll do the scalability at the end of it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
'Kay.
1, 2, 3.
Progress.
Progress.
You're kidding.
Get out of here. I would never have guessed that
I would
one.
have never guessed that.
I was almost going to say, because sometimes when we say it over each other, you can't hear the other person.
Yeah.
We just said the same word. It took us 3 episodes to get to the same word. Wow.
Wow.
We did it again.
Well, that one.
Oh.
We really do finish each other's sentences. Quite literally. So, okay, because the crazy thing was, I was thinking closure, and I was like, no.
Not closure.
But I feel like we're making progress this week on some things. Like,
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, one step at a time,
Yes.
one more step closer.
Yes.
So it was like, okay, we made a little bit of progress this week on just some of these
yeah.
boxes we have to check. No doors have opened up yet for some of the other things, but I mean, it's just one step at a time. So it's progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. 3.
3 episodes.
So 33% of the time, we have the exact same word.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
I think that's a win.
I mean, it's probably only going to go down from there. So
I know.
it's a win for sure.
Oh.
All right. Well, it's the middle of the week. We all got to get up and go to the airport early in the morning and then go to work and school.
And then go to work in school.
So let's go to bed. All right. Love ya. See you guys next week.
Nice.
See ya.